by so much beauty, I can't explain it.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be going over the lyrics for the next track, which is Fear of Flight. There's a couple of really interesting things about Fear of Flight in general. Is that I came up with the title of Fear of Flight long before I ever wrote the song. And I probably should have mentioned this before, but the idea for the album of KSL, a lot of these songs ended up coming from an earlier idea that I had for an album, which was going to be called The Ascent. The idea was that it was going to be like maybe an EP, a 6-track EP, and it was going to be, tunnel vision, and then something about being on land, and then it would be the fear of flight, and then there would be flying, and then there would be heaven. I would say, probably 4 or 5 of the songs off of this album ended up coming from that initial idea. But as I kept kind of working with that idea, I kept obviously writing different songs that then ended up on the actual album. So it started kind of warping into Chaos All as we see it today. But I still had like those track titles kind of sitting around. So another fun thing about the song Fear Flight is that it actually came from a 1-hour song challenge that I had done with a couple of friends of mine actually. And not the whole song, but the initial idea for the beat and the guitar riff and some of the lyrics, as well as like the initial ideas behind the chorus. The chorus wasn't finalized until later. And obviously hours and hours of work went into making this into a real song. But I liked the idea of, including a song about the fear of flight, and the song itself is about kind of imposter syndrome or not thinking you're good enough, but really just trying to jump forward and just do it. There's nothing holding you back ever, and I really love that about Fear of Flight. It's one of those songs that when I sing along to it, sometimes it can actually make me cry. I'll talk about it when we get to, it's closer to the end of the song. So going over the lyrics here now. That was a lot of rambling up front, but, I really just kind of want to give you guys the idea behind what this song is, because it really kind of comes through in the lyrics. But, I always like to give you guys a little bit of a background about stuff. So the lyrics go, there really isn't enough time to struggle through this climb. I don't know what to say, but I'm always in my own way. Obviously, not my most sophisticated rhyming scheme. It's an AABB. But I actually quite enjoyed this because the idea is that I see that there's this climb that I have to do, which is, anything that you want to be doing, but you just can't muster up the courage to do. It's like, oh, there's just not enough time. I'm coming up with excuses. And then obviously I'm always in my own way with these excuses. That's what that is. And the way that the song is kind of structured is it's short verse and then a pre-chorus and then a chorus. The song itself is not even that long. It's really kind of snappy, right? It's like, I realize that I'm in my own way and I'm stopping myself. There's nothing else stopping me. Then we get into the next section, which is the pre-chorus, and it says, I'm surrounded by so much beauty, I can't explain it. It makes me want to be better, but I don't know if I can. You'll notice too that the music drops from this kind of plucky kind of to kind of like a and it's kind of like your fear, kind of like, I see that thing I want. I see so much beauty. And, this song was mostly written as me as a musician, and I'm seeing all these other musicians and they're making such great works of art. And I want to do that. And I want to make myself better so that I can kind of get up to their level. It doesn't necessarily happen all the time, but I do what I can. And then we get kind of a half chorus, because I don't get into the full chorus until later. But don't give in to your fear of flight and you'll fly. And that's the idea, is if you just let go of everything, then you can soar. So we have more of kind of the same, more of getting in your own way. The cards aren't stacked against me, even if that's all I see. I'm so far down but there's no other time but now. You're down here, and it's not as tough as you think it is. You can do it. And there's no other time but now. You have to do it. Now, the next pre-chorus is, I'm surrounded by smiling giants while I'm shrinking. They invite me along, then everything goes gray. This one in particular, I love the idea of I'm surrounded by smiling giants. When I came up with that lyric, I was like, damn, that's a good lyric. And the idea is that there's all of these other people who are doing what you want to do, and they're huge and they seem larger than life. Now, of course, we are all people. Obviously, we all put pants on one leg at a time. But you know, in your mind, they're giants and they're so much bigger than you. You feel like you're even getting smaller and smaller the more you hang out with them, but they're inviting you along, and it's almost as if you can't even fathom that. That's where everything goes gray, like, what? And then we get into the full chorus of, don't give in to your fear of flight and you'll fly. Don't give in, and you'll fly. Then we have a quick breakdown, which I really like. I used some like risers and stuff, which was really, really cool. And then I actually come back to the, I'm surrounded by so much beauty, I can't explain it. It makes me want to be better, but I don't know if I can. That part, obviously you've heard it before, but I stress on that a lot, and I say, but I hope that I can. I try so hard, so hard. That's the part that when I sing it, it makes me cry a little bit, because like, those words are real. Like, I try so hard, and obviously this is not track 1 or 2 or whatever, so we've heard some songs before this. One More for Obscurity, I think, is, you know, that song is, you know, proof that like I'm trying so hard and I'm churning out so much music and so much is coming out, and just don't give in to your fear of flight and you'll fly. So, you know, this one doesn't actually have a ton of lyrics, but I like this song a lot, and it's really deep, in my opinion. And like a few of the other songs, I feel like the lyrics are deceptively simple, but you know, there's a few of my really favorite lines that I have in all of my songs, and I think one of them is, I'm surrounded by smiling giants. I love that line. I will see you guys in the next one, where we're going to be talking about flying high.
Don't give in to your fear of flight.